As a McCabe, what do you think of the St. Pat's jerseys?
It's great. I love it. I'm sure my daughter's been used to seeing the blue on the TV, so I told her tonight it's gonna be green.
What is? Do you have Irish heritage? You must.
Yeah, Irish, Scottish for sure. Yeah.
What's the biggest challenge you see on Carolina?
Yeah, they defend so well. They're man on man pretty much all over the ice. They do a great job of staying above, pressuring, forechecking, and they deliver a ton of pucks to the net. So you got to be really good in front of your own net and with box out and getting sticks and a really highly competitive team in all three zones.
What stands out to you the most about Samsonov?
Just super composed. Big body. Handles the puck pretty well too, but just very composed goalie back there.
How well do you know Luke Schenn?
Pretty well. We're both in the hotel right now, so it's his. Just got to talk to him since we've gotten traded, and just a great guy. Been around the league a long time, and obviously had a lot of success in this league. So it's great to have him here.
Where's the respect factor for a guy like that, Jake, who's still doing what he's doing? Like you say, he's drafted first round of the leagues, 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I know he's, when he found out he was coming back here, he was super excited to give it a second go around here, and a lot of familiar faces for him. And starting his career here, I know is very special to be back here and playing in front of this crowd again.
What have
you noticed most about Morgan Rielly and being on the ice with him?
I think just his presence. He's a great leader for us on this team and great leader for us on the back end. He skates so well. A very, very good skater, offensive threat, and he defends very well too. So he's just, he can kind of do it all.
What stands out about his leadership, that side of it?
Yeah, just, he's one of the guys that texted me right when I got traded and, helped bring us in here and make us feel comfortable. Just a super good guy, funny guy. You can tell he's been around here for a long time now. So definitely a big leader in our room.
How much do you guys look at the standings this time of year? You see Tampa's up just 1 point back now.
Yeah, I think, you look at the standings, seeing what's going on across the league, but, you're just worried about yourself and worried about the task at hand, which is Carolina tonight.
With 7 defensemen, you're playing with multiple defense partners. Is it easier for you to acclimate yourself to the team with playing a number of people, or would you rather prefer to play with one guy and get used to that person?
Yeah, it's already different playing with whoever I'm playing with right now, just because I'm new here. So, no matter who I'm playing with, it's all about communication and talking while you're out there on the ice and talking while you're on the bench, see what you're seeing out there, whether it's a face-off or D-zone coverage play and different tendencies of the opponent that certain night, and just making sure you're on the same page throughout the game.
Do you have any specific memories of going up against Hall in college?
Holler?
Yeah.
We had a couple of good battles. I'm trying to think, his last year is, I think, 2014, the same as my last year. We were both really good teams, and I remember we had one memorable series. They're number one coming to Madison, and we swept them. But I think they swept us the same year that year in their building. So a lot of good battles, a lot of good players over there.
You watch Frozen 4 all that?
Pardon?
You watch the Frozen 4?
Sometimes. Depending on if I got a game or not, but it's always good to catch up with college hockey. I'm a big fan of college hockey, and like to see it continue to grow.
What do you remember about that chance you had on Gorgiev late in the game the other night? Did you think you had him there?
Yeah, I knew I'd gotten over his pad, but just trickled wide on me. That would have been a nice one to get for the guys for sure.
Where are you at on the family front?
Still working on passports. My wife, God bless her, she's been grinding at home, and she's sick right now, poor thing. But my mom's helping out right now. But after this road trip, hopefully get the family up here. It's gonna be. It's been a long couple of months. We were on the road a lot in Chicago too, so I miss them a lot. But it'll be good to get them up here.
How do you feel about that, being away from the family? You see that playing and all that, but that side of it, Jake.
Yeah, like I've said before, the hockey playing is the easy part of this transition. It's what I know. It's my job, and frankly, what I'm good at. So that's what I kind of focus my energy towards. And thank God for FaceTime and our help with our both of our families back home. They've been helping us out a lot. But it's certainly tough. And finally found myself a house. So just starting to get a little bit more settled here away from the rink.
When do you think you'll be out of the hotel?
Hopefully after this next long road trip.
How much do you guys look at the standings at this time of year? You kind of notice that Tampa's 1 point back, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, we want to finish as high as possible, of course. But we're trying to focus on ourselves and just trying to win the next game.
What was it feel like for you with Austin and Mitch the other game?
Felt all right. A lot of fun for me to to be able to play with those two. It was a lot of fun.
What's the most fun? I mean, it seems maybe it could be obvious, but what do you enjoy the most when you're out with those two guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's two of the best players in the league. So it's fun to be a part of a line like that.
They played a lot. Like Mitch was up over 29, Austin pushing 27. Were you looking at these guys being like, do you guys not get tired, or like what were you thinking as they kept jumping over the boards there?
Yeah, I mean, I would have been gassed, but those two they seem to never get tired.
What stood out to you about Morgan's game the other night?
What was that?
Rielly's game the other night.
Morgan?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he big goal there, the first one. Great shot. Yeah, he looked great out there.
When he gets the legs going, and I mean, we know we call him a defenseman, but how crucial and vital is he to the attack of this team?
Yeah, just playing against him over the years too. He's when he's skating like that, he almost becomes like an extra forward out there. So it's tough to defend against.
He's also obviously wears a letter. He's been here the longest of anyone. What stands out about his leadership side?
Yeah, he's a great leader for us. Like you said, he's been here forever. Yeah, he's a great leader for us.
Stands out to you about Samsonov?
Sam, he's been unbelievable all season. I feel like, and he just keeps going.
What's the biggest challenge the Hurricanes present?
They pressure everywhere. So it's gonna be huge for us to try to beat that pressure. They shoot a lot of pucks, box outs, try to get in lanes, get out of our end as quick as possible.
Stab in the dark, have you ever been to Ireland?
No, never.
So, Morgan, what do you see in this Hurricanes team? What's the biggest challenge they present to you guys tonight?
Yeah, they're a very good team. Obviously good defensively. Their PK in the last month and a half has been elite. We talked about that this morning from a power play perspective. And I mean, they present lots of challenges with their forward group as well. So they're a deep team, and if you look at the overall standings over the course of the last couple of seasons, they've been right near the top. So we got our hands full with a challenging game here tonight.
How much do you guys look at the standings at this time of the season? I mean, Tampa's creeping up on you, all that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think this time of year you start to look a little more than you do in the first half. You start to think about playoff implications and whatnot, and who you might get or how home ice might look. But ultimately, you're trying to win every single night. That's what they're trying to do. That's what every team's trying to do. So all you can do is really focus on your group and what you need to do to perform. And there's no time. There's no point wasting time, worrying about the standings. You just got to control your effort, your preparation, and how the team plays.
Having said that, Morgan, how much is the home ice motivation? That's really what we're playing for now.
Yeah, it's big. Obviously, I mean, every team wants it going into the playoffs. You don't want to have to, be on the road that first week. So it's a good opportunity for us to have a goal to chase and some motivation here down the stretch.
Just how much has Jake McCabe altered the look of your D4 here?
He's been great. He plays hard. Very physical, big, strong guy. He moves the puck well. So, when you add a guy like Jake, he's kind of one of those guys that just makes your core, makes your team better overnight just by adding him. And I think he's done a really good job of coming in here, trying to learn the systems, play his style of game, but also be in on the team structure. And it's been, I think, a great addition for us.
A little more respect too. Sorry. These guys, Jake was talking this morning, a lot of family time on FaceTime, and they're making that adjustment. Families in another city on. So,
yeah. There's challenges that come with a trade like that. I haven't experienced that firsthand, but I know even when we were in New Jersey, there on that road trip, he had a lot of stuff he had to get lined up. When it comes to the move and everything like that, so he's had his hands full, and again, I think he's handled it all extremely well. now. He's a pro. He's played in this game for a long time. I mean, we all kind of know who he is as a player. And we're not surprised to find out who he is as a person. I thought he's done a great job for us so far.
He said that you texted him right away after the trade. Like, at what point in your career did it kind of click in that I should be reaching out to new guys, that I need to take it upon myself to welcome guys?
Yeah, I think it's different. I think it happened earlier for me just because of where we were as a team, and there was a lot of turnover the first couple of years. So you meet lots of new guys, and you get used to that. Unfortunately, the guys coming and going, and you start to understand how important it is for people to feel comfortable. You know, I know for me, if I ever am in that situation, you know, when I am in that situation, that's tough. There's challenges coming. I mean, you're moving across the country. You're joining a group of guys. You might only know one or two guys. You want to make them feel comfortable, and you know, I don't think anybody's perfect, but you know, I think with this group, we have a bunch of guys who want that for our new guys. You know, you want them to be comfortable. You want them to feel like themselves and have confidence. So it's always a work in progress in that area. There's always more you can do.
Jeff lifted that for you when you were drafted, right?
Yep. Yeah. No, I think it's important. I think that, you know, people have to take that upon themselves. And again, there's always more you can do. There's always more you want to do for guys, but you just try your best.
What did you like the most about your game the other night?
I don't really know. I think, I mean, just a playoff-like game, it felt like, in terms of two good teams going at it. Not a ton of high-danger chances, you know, trying to defend well. So I think as a group, we did a good job of that. You always want to create more, you know, without giving up more. So, I mean, that's a balance that we're going to look to find here in the next 15 games.
2 defensive plays you made in the third is a bit of a hit and then bring up a 2-on-1. Are those key to you as they're scoring goals in the first place?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, as a D-man, you have to be able to do that stuff. And, you know, when you do it, I don't think, you know, you deserve any type of credit. I think that's what you're supposed to do. When you don't do it, that's when, you know, issues start to arise. So, you know, as a group, we work on all that type of stuff. And, you know, in a close game against a good team, you just want to be ready for those you know, plays coming down on you. And so, you know, as a D-corps, we'll keep working at that.
Have you been putting more pressure on yourself this year compared to other years, considering the contract?
No,
leadership?
no, not the contract or anything like that. It's just, you know, holding yourself accountable. It has nothing to do with money or nothing to do with any of that. It's just, you know, I've been here for a while, and I expect a certain standard from myself and all of my teammates as well. And I think that we all hold each other to a very high standard, but, you know, it starts with yourself.
So how would you, I guess, chart your season today, like in terms of trying to meet that standard?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll ever be satisfied, and you know, I think I speak for everybody. There's always going to be an area that you want to get better at, and I think for me, you know, that's the case this season. You know, I think, you know, after the season, I'll have a chance to reflect a little more than I do right now. But you're always wanting to get better. There's always things you can do different, and I don't think you're ever satisfied to any extent, really.
How do you deal with the mental side of it when that's a tough thing when you're not, you never feel kind of satisfied?
Well, that's what's enjoyable about the game and about sports and about doing what you love, is that the challenges are you make them, you know, part of your experience, and you know, those improvements and those things that you learn along the way are fun, and it's challenging at times for sure. You go through ups and downs, but you learn to embrace it and you know, deal with it and keep going. And you know, hopefully you have teammates and friends that you can lean on, and people in your life that you trust, and you talk and you deal with stuff and you grow and you move on, and you know, that's part of it. And if you learn to enjoy that, and if you're doing what you enjoy doing, then that's, you know, not really a burden. That's a you know, great opportunity to learn and grow as a hockey player, as a journalist, as an, you know, individual. And I've always enjoyed that part of this job.
10, 11 years later, did you have to remind Luke when he walked back in here he's not 23 anymore?
I did. He reminded us of that. He's pretty self-aware. And, there he is. This is the guy you've been waiting for anyway. Get in here.
One-time teammates again?
Yeah, exactly.
One-day teammates.
Yeah, exactly. We're looking forward to Luke's return. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of excitement. Just being out there in the morning skate, obviously a lot of flashbacks and a lot of memories. And I just super excited to come back here and play in front of, you know, this organization and this fan base on the home side this time. Obviously, I've been here a few times on the visiting side in the last, you know, decade or so, but it's pretty special to come back and, you know, be in this dressing room and, you know, come out through this tunnel and be on this bench.
Last time you played here at home, the only guy still in the NHL from that roster was Phil Kessel.
Oh, really?
Does that put that into perspective a bit more for you, Luke, and with the longevity and everything?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It obviously flies by. You know, there's a huge changeover, turnover of veteran players to younger guys when I was here, and obviously, you know, like you said, a lot of guys are now out of the league. So my career has been a roller coaster for sure, and I never thought I'd ever get the opportunity to come back here. Obviously, you know, like I mentioned before, it was, you know, you appreciate being here as an 18, 19-year-old guy, but not to the extent I do now. It's just totally different, and that just comes with maturity and life experiences to appreciate it more. But I'm not taking anything for granted. I know this is special, and you know, it's crazy just how the timings work out.
How wild is to think that in that time Phil has not missed a game?
That is actually wild to me. I mean, of all guys too, he's against all odds. I mean, you know, if you drop, you know, what a hockey player is supposed to do on a daily basis to get results, and then you have Phil who just does it his own way and has so much success. It's against all odds, and he's had a heck of a career, and I enjoy my time playing with him.
Do you sense the excitement in the fan base, like around here, that to see you on that ice again in blue? I know you're excited, but do you feel that connection with the fans already?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know, being here in my younger days, obviously there was you got off to a good start, and there were some ups and downs in my time in Toronto here. But I think throughout that, as far as I've always felt, is the fans have always been unbelievable to me. And you know, it comes with the territory of playing here and being in the market. You're not going to you know, feel the love all the time, but I can say, in all honesty, in my 4 years here, the fans were unbelievable to me and fair to me. And I'm not on social media, so I don't go looking for it for sure. But there's no question, you know, just the people that have reached out and the texts that I've got, and former teammates and just Leaf fans in general. I think, yeah, it's going to be exciting, and I can't wait for it. And like I said, I still can't believe it's happening.
Emotionally, like, how do you deal with big games, like whether it's a playoff game or, you know, tonight, games that have a little extra juice? Like, can you sleep fine? Like, have you learned how to prepare for a night like that?
Yeah, I mean, not prepare for something like this. I guess it's just totally different. I mean, you look at, yeah, there's big games over the course of your career, whether it's a playoff game or, you know, you're playing, you know, like I said, big game or series siding game in a playoff game. But this is just a little bit different. I think it's more, you know, just kind of how my career's evolved to get the chance to come back here and, like I said, play in front of this fan base. It's extremely special to me, and yeah, like I said, I still can't believe, you know, over the course of my career too, it's, like I said, there's been some downs where I've been on waivers a couple of times or free agency, and I was always kind of thinking in the back of my mind, I wonder if Toronto would ever give me a shot here again. And I'm glad they didn't, because I feel the timing's, you know, better now, just based on my experience throughout my career, and feel more prepared for it. So, yeah, there's been big games throughout the course of my career, and you rely on certain experiences to fall back on to how you control your emotions. And I'm excited. Obviously, you don't know which way it's going to go tonight, but you just want to go out there and really enjoy the moment.
Luke, when you look back on these last couple of years, especially to push through a lot of optional skates and stuff, depending on where you were in a lineup on a team to stay fit and ready, I mean, what kept you going through that when maybe you didn't know if you'd ever be a regular or whatever again?
I've always stayed hungry, and I've always believed that, you know, I was going to get back. And you know, even when I first got sent down in Anaheim, I had conversations with my brother and my dad, and just being like, I still believe that I'm going to play another, you know, 5 or 6 years. I didn't know how that was going to look. I didn't know what the opportunity was going to look like, but I still felt like I wasn't done yet. And you know, been working on it for a while, and my thought process, I mean, it's kind of against the odds in terms of, you know, aging in the league, but I've tried to be in the mentality to get better with age, and you know, you just learn different things as you get older. I mean, obviously, you know, you're probably not getting any faster out there or nothing like that, but there's different ways to take the game, and that's I tried to, you know, change a lot of things up in terms of how I approach a game and off-season work and just little details like that. But I've always had the hunger for it, and always, you know, trying to improve and get better. And I don't know what my ceiling is. I sometimes I feel like I still haven't gotten there, so I'm just trying to work towards it.
What stands out to you about Morgan?
Oh, a lot. I mean, obviously his skating ability, and you know, the way he can jump up in the play and you know, snap the puck up, take the take to the forwards, and he's just a well-rounded player. I've always enjoyed watching him from a distance, and you know, can eat some minutes, and obviously a quality guy too, who I've known for a little bit over the past number of years. So plus he has Saskatchewan roots too. Played Moose Jaw and Notre Dame, so that's one thing that stands out.
Not easy being green, eh?
Not my best color.
Sheldon, it hasn't been the easiest season for Morgan with the injury and some inconsistency. I'm just curious your perspective, how he's kind of navigated everything.
I think he's done a great job of it. I mean, Morgan's very consistent in his approach every day. I don't think it's phased him. Obviously, the biggest thing that would probably weigh on him, is not scoring. Puck not going in, and you're a guy that has that ability, has produced in the past, and that the team relies on him for those types of things, power play, 5-on-5, whatever it might be. I think that's the fact that he's remained consistent, goes about his process the same, and knows what he needs to work at. He's very honest about his game. When I've met with him and chatted with him, Morgan really wants to win, really wants to help our team, and he knows that he plays a big role in that. So, he's extremely committed to being at his best.
He's on the ice this morning, seems to be in great spirits. We spoke to him. I'm just wondering if you feel like a game like that other night can be a catapult, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we've talked about this before, with different players, that sometimes when you score, and even if you don't score, like that crossbar that he hit early in the game the other night is in that spot. You rip one off the bar, doesn't go your way, but that in itself can feel like, oh, okay, I'm involved, I'm engaged, things are happening. Then you score right after it, then even more so. I mean, you feel like things are really opening up for you. So I think that could only be a good sign of things to come for him.
Samsonov tonight, just curious how you came to the decision to go with him tonight or tomorrow.
I think that he played really well the other night. He's played very well at home. But I think that it's, as much as we want to, work through both goalies and keep both goalies involved, I really think it's important, at times to look to give guys multiple games, just because I think that's part of getting in a rhythm. And, we did that with Murray recently, and I think for Sammy, it's the same situation.
Do you go to Luke before a game like today? It clearly means a lot to him to get back on home ice and return it leaves at home. Do you go to him and just sort of stay within yourself, don't get carried away in the moment or anything like that?
No, I mean, I chatted with Luke a bit yesterday. It was more so about reminiscing about the facility and the city and stuff, that things have changed, how things have changed since he was here last. But, I mean, a guy like Luke Schenn is still playing and, has had the type of career he has because he knows exactly who he is and what he needs to do. I'm not concerned about Luke trying to do too much.
How much do you even look at the standings these days? Is it Tampa's creeping up, is only a point behind, but do you look at them at all? Are they a concern for you?
Sure. I think it's that time of year. You're keeping notice of what's happening around you, but you don't lose focus to what's most important for us, which is to feel good about our team, have our team healthy and ready to play in the playoffs, and that's really it. Obviously, you want to clinch your playoff spot and get that taken care of. We're in terms of home ice, we're in a position right now where we have the edge, and you want to maintain that through good play and good habits, and all those things should take care of itself. But the thing that's most important to us is feeling good about our game and being healthy as we get ready to play.
Beyond health, is there any specific area you see as an opportunity to sort of dial in more in this last stretch, last round of the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, each area, I think, you want to really tighten up and be sharp in. And each opponent, each game brings different challenges and different opportunities. But, I obviously getting healthy with Rielly in particular will allow a lot of things to really fall into place for us in terms of how our lines look and how we roll out our team. Right now, things are a lot more in flux, since O'Reilly's been out. So that in itself is one thing that you'd like to get solidified. The other part of it for me is whether it's power play, penalty kill, your even strength, details, playing with leads, handling, different adversity like the other night. I mean, it's such a tight game, and one thing here or there can make the difference. You want to be really sharp in those areas, and we were okay the other night, but didn't get the second goal. So like just those little details that you want to feel good about. But the other thing, I think if we've learned anything, is you get your game feeling good and all that. I mean, anything that happens through the regular season is going to be forgotten when everything gets back to zero and you're playing for real again. So it's just a matter of, like I said, good habits, feel good about the team, keep the group healthy, and ramp up and be ready to go.
Which D sits tonight? Is it Justin or Aaron?
Hall will sit tonight. Yeah.
How do you feel Jarnkrok fit in with Austin and Mitch when you saw them up there together the other night?
I thought he did a good job. He was really moving his feet. He was on the puck. Made a couple of good plays so that he contributed to the goal that we scored, and helping moving the puck up the ice and keeping those guys moving. I think that's a really important part of playing with those guys, is that you got to keep the chains moving. You got to keep them moving up the ice and keep them fast, get them on offense when the puck comes to you. So that's what I thought he did really well, and he forechecks well, and defensively responsible. So I thought he did a good job. He's done a really good job for us no matter where we've put him.